She's good.
He's just maybe 2 years old.
She said the president probably.
Yeah, that's just the name I haven't heard for the longest time. I'm glad it's just.
It's all right. Call to order the Beaver County Board of Commissioners work session for Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. Okay, review of work session discussion meeting minutes.
Look at it.
Move to department head report. Any department head report?
Just a quick update, the water line at Brady's Run Park is complete. I looked through my folder and the contract and everything like that, which I will be reaching out to Chris Schroeder just to finalize things with him, but I believe everything has already been signed. It's part of the agreement that was signed in the first place that once the work is done, they take the line over. But I'll double check on that. We are very, very close with the lift station as well. Once I get word from KLH that work is complete, then I'll reach out to Mark Taylor at Chippewa.
Brady's Run Sewer.
Brady's Run Sewer Authority to finalize that agreement as well. Obviously, I'm going to be looking for some guidance from the law department to get that taken over by them. Sediment ponds, I got an email yesterday that the contract has been sent out to the contractor for signatures, bond issue and stuff like that. So hopefully we have that back soon too.
How are you handling the lack of heat complaints from people?
I like my job.
I do want to say it's been a lot of snow, a lot of ice. You guys have really done a nice job trying to keep up with the sidewalks and the parking lots and stuff. So I appreciate the extra effort this time of year. Unusually, obviously cold and snowy January for us.
You know, just maybe just for public knowledge, obviously, you know, the top floor of the parking garage doesn't have a roof over it, so we have to treat that snow plow and stuff like that. A lot of times when the guys come in, there's vehicles parked up there. So what we'll do is we were putting cones up. People move the cones and go up. You can't get a truck up there, so we got a chain like we have out front here. Put that up so the guys will come in and move the chain, go up there and get it taken care of. I know they were in this morning getting it taken care of. So if you get complaints about that, that's why we can't get up there and plow when vehicles are up there.
Okay. Thank you. Any other? Erica?
Josh, let me give you an update. Assessment and tax today, we're now taking credit card payments. It's now public to the website as well. And over the phone, just want to give your update. And we're just waiting for the 2024 taxes from Sandy, which she's been updating us with as well.
Okay. Thank you.
No issues with the integration of it, the system and stuff. So.
No.
Excellent.
It's very user friendly.
You say they can do it online now as well?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Any other department head report? Hearing none. All right, we'll move to the commissioner, or solicitor, I'm sorry, solicitor.
Just to piggyback on that, because I was at a meeting earlier this week, the tax bills did go out on Monday, correct? Because people were asking about it. I said they should be going on Monday. They were in the mail.
They're in the mail right as we speak. Complaints are already coming.
I'm very unpopular right now.
Yes, you are.
These people wanted the bill for some odd reason. They were curious. Yeah, they were curious about it. The only thing I want to report on, and talking with Dan and Tony, and this is for public knowledge, Brady's Run Lake, the opposite end of where the dam is at. It's much shallower, and there's been people out there playing hockey on it, which in and of itself is fine. But we're going to put signs up there just to warn people that we're not testing the depth of the ice. It's really, just be cautious if you go out there and use it. You can, but it's at your own risk. There's going to be signs that Dan is ordering to put up out there to make sure people are in fact aware of that. So you're open to do it, but make sure you test it before you go out there, because
6 inches?
yeah, I don't know.
It's usually not that.
I think it's less than that.
3 to 4.
Yeah, I'd say
3 to 4 is usually good enough.
We already have signs to notified fishermen who may go on the lake for ice fishing, but they did not include hockey, so they didn't order the sign, so thank you for,
I don't even want to walk from my car to the building, let alone go on out.
yeah.
The only thing I would say though too, Dan, I don't know if we're gonna put them down by like where the beach area is at as well too. I know there's signs there.
There were 4 of them, so I figured I'd put 2 there and 2 over by the.
Four Seasons Pavilion, makes sense.
Those should be in today, I would think.
Perfect. The other issue I have is a personnel matter for executive session.
Move to the commissioners.
Just have a few things, the Vickery House update. I know it's too cold to do any work, but I mean, when it breaks, are we ready to go, or?
You know, as a work commissioner, I haven't been over there in a while with the other things that are going on, but the last I heard was they had the roof on the front porch. They sent pictures over. I would assume that they haven't done much with the weather. I can give you, for lack of a better word, a heads up. I believe Brenda will be approaching you. It's coming time for that grant again, where she's probably going to come in and she's interested in replacing the entire roof on the building itself. So she's probably going to be coming ask for some more monies to help. With the grant she gets, I believe it's a 50-50 grant. So
Gotcha.
but I will certainly look into that and get you an answer where we're at. Thank you.
Any 457 plan issues since they took out the first deduction today?
Yeah, today would be the first deduction, and I have not heard any problems or issues. They received the money, Empower did, and we're going to take that out of everyone's account, so I haven't heard any issues.
Thank you. The other one is the van. What's the final status of the veterans van?
I saw Mr. Fisher earlier this week in another meeting, and he indicated that they do not have a smaller van in height that available that they can utilize. So the van that they have now is the van, for lack of better words, that they're stuck with, which is too high for our parking garage.
And he called me again, and we have a place, are we gonna build a shelter for it, or?
Well, I assume it's been parking over here on Market Street.
Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna have a shelter for it or not?
The place that we looked at previously was sort of back where the sheriff's park at, and it just didn't work logistically from the standpoint of where the shed would be on the one side would be on property that we don't own. And then on the other side of that garage, there's just too much going on with the light pole and everything. In that particular
Sheriff's
area.
Department traffic.
Yeah, Sheriff's Department traffic. Access to the shed that is currently there by DPW. There just wasn't an area in either of those 2 locations in order to put a parking carport or whatever you want to call it for the actual van itself.
I know we got a letter from Kathy, but I thought we'd see her, but
Oh, I followed up with her. She's
Oh, you did?
good. She's fine.
she's fine.
It's not her issue, it's Jerry's issue.
Yeah, I know, but he can be persistent.
Tell me about it.
Okay, that's all I have.
Commissioner Manning?
Just a couple of things, kind of interrelated, but the last 30 days, Beaver County's had multiple tragic events, some murder suicides and some other events that happened in Beaver Falls and Aliquippa and South Beaver, North Sewickley and stuff. And I just hope people can keep some of those families and friends and folks in their thoughts and prayers. And it's been a rough time in Beaver County here for a lot of families. And the reason I bring it up is the Youth Ambassador Group has their program next Wednesday at CCBC. They've come and asked if we could help purchase T-shirts again for that group, but that Youth Ambassador Group, which really focuses on mental health and wellness students. They have now, I think 675 6th to 12th graders across all 14 public high schools, PA Cyber, Lincoln Park, Beaver County Christian, and I may be missing 1 or 2. So every school district in the county, parochial private, cyber, and public schools participate in this. And, you know, I know we're all very proud of that program and the work they do that really focuses on mental health and wellness, and our behavioral health folks out of Beaver Falls and our human services building, integral to that program with the counseling and stuff. And when events like this happen, because we've had some teen suicides as well that have occurred. And this is all about mental health and wellness for what a lot of people are calling the anxious generation, this current group of kids that are in school. And I appreciate the work they do so much. And they're one of their first big group meetings. And they focus on suicide prevention, anti-bullying, social media impact, and that kind of stuff. And I just think it's fantastic work because our schools don't have enough counselors themselves, particularly the smaller schools, to deal with a lot of the issues that the kids are dealing with. A lot of it post-COVID, which screwed up a lot of our youth for a year or so there. So hopefully we can agree that she'll be sending us some information to buy those T-shirts. So I just want to give you guys a heads up on this. I'll Sue Smith this morning on that. So it's a lot of T-shirts. That took a lot more kids. So
She'll send something.
yeah, she'll send.
Yeah, I'll
they
tell
use,
you,
They use CNS here.
the first time we got T-shirts from, I think it was like 80 students.
Yeah, right. So it's really grown. It's just been a great way for all of the school districts to collaborate and provide services that individually some of the school districts can't provide. So I'm just a big fan and really appreciate the work they do, and particularly with a lot of the events that have happened here recently in our broader Beaver County community. So that's it for me.
Thank you. Move to any other business. Audience, oh, sorry, Rick.
That's okay, just a question, when you guys get that, can we share publicly what that amount was? Because I know last year we thought it was gonna be like just a little bit, and it ended up being like $10,000. I think publicly that people should know how much we're spending on these T-shirts, especially as we move forward and the budget gets tighter. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a big number last year. I think it was more than double we expected. I think you guys approved something and it came in way more than you expected when we paid that bill. I just think we should share that with the
That's-
public, how much
I think that's what happened. We agreed to this amount and then it came back.
I don't have an estimate for this one, but obviously the numbers.
Originally it was 5, and then the second year it was 10.
Yeah, the number keeps growing, obviously, because you
And
throw in
that's a good
that,
thing, but it's like,
and the counselors and the
I mean, as
providers.
they keep growing, is it really something the
Yeah.
county should be putting the whole bill for, right? Like, and you know, we have reserves now, but those reserves are for capital and stuff like that. If we eat into it more for these type of things, not saying it's a bad thing. The more we give away for things that are non-county functions, our budget numbers go down. That's all.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I know I'm the bad guy to say that, but I want to make sure we have money, we don't raise taxes, right? We shouldn't raise taxes because we're giving to all these organizations that aren't core county functions. That's all.
Well, and again, this is led by our behavioral health folks, right? They are the coordinators of this.
So we can use
So-
federal grants?
I'm
Is that
sure,
general fund
I'm sure there's probably some funding that they already provide for the lunches that are provided at the event, because we're not paying for any of that. So I know there's costs that clearly behavioral health is covering this event. And the school districts, obviously, for the buses and the transportation and all those costs, counselors, chaperones, making attendance as well.
Thank you. Audience participation. Mr. Wolf?
Darrell Wolf, Ohioville. 5 nursing homes in the area have closed or closing. Is the county looking into this? I mean, the Beaver Falls Personal Care is now sending residents to Johnstown for, because there's no facilities around here that work. And Beaver County is only getting older. And I think it's something that needs to be addressed sooner than later. I'm not exactly sure how to address it, but it's something that definitely needs to be looked at.
Yeah, I know we were engaged a little bit with Brighton Rehab, and it looked like they might be closing. I know our state reps intervened in some other people.
Right, Rehab's closing also?
No,
Oh,
it isn't, but there was a threat that was going to happen, and there was some communication about a lot of this. Darrell, I'll be honest, it is a federal and state financing issue with Medicare and subsidies that have not increased over time to keep up with the cost of managing those facilities. We're not experts in the nursing home stuff, and it's private entities, and I really don't know what possible steps we could take other than to advocate for people to find the money to make sure they stay in business. It's happening all across the country as well as the Commonwealth, so.
Well, I know it's a tragedy for a lot of families,
I agree.
and it seems to me like there should be something. They can't, I'm not the brightest person on the topic either, but I just know when friends are being shipped to Johnstown away from their families, that's not good.
I don't, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, we could have the conversation, I mean, like Commissioner Manning said, it'd be us advocating our state and federal officials because that's clearly, when we, I want to say, intervene with the Friendship Bridge or Brighton Rehab situation, that's what their complaint was there isn't enough reimbursements to be able to cover what it costs to have individuals there. I'm assuming that's probably the same reason, that and probably workforce.
Yeah,
probably the
it's
same reason why
staffing and the cost of staffing, the availability of the practical nurses, the nursing
It's the
and stuff.
reimbursements, Jack. It's-
But the reimbursements also, a lot of them are short-staffed. And they're short-staffed because they can't afford to hire any more staff because the overall reimbursement per patient, per resident doesn't keep up with the overall cost of inflation that have occurred over that federal subsidy has been locked like at the same level for 8 years, I think I read, or something like that. So obviously you think of any organization that's kept the same revenue coming in for 8 years, something's got to give, right? And
So now
especially with some of these smaller ones that are 20 people homes or
I'm
stuff.
gonna hurt some brains here, and I'm not doing it on purpose, but it just hit me. We're sending how much money to the men's shelter and women's shelter? Is there any chance we can send money to subsidize these?
We couldn't send enough to make it up. And they're right, like, so I just had looked at my uncle last year,
They're
the
private entities.
Medicare ones, so if you look at the ones that are smaller ones, I mean, even the ones in this area that are lower, you're talking 6,000 a month for people, and Medicare's not reimbursing that. You wanna find a good home for your people, you're talking 10,000 a month. They're just, the money's not there, Medicare's not reimbursing, you come out of pocket, insurance is not there, it's just, they can't pay, get the funds in to do it, it's, reimbursements aren't there, and they can't pay their people, and they're understaffed, it's just, it's a bad cycle, they're losing money. We couldn't give enough money to help them.
Commissioner Amadeus said that prior to Friendship Bridge selling, the budget was roughly 50 million a year, and they were in the whole 8 million every year last year. So if that hasn't changed since 2014, I think, or 2013, when was it?
Well, it got worse.
It was 2014, so.
Back then, the county entities got penalized for being a county. And the public entities got more money in reimbursement. Apparently it's even now, that's why they're in trouble.
I mean, there's, in southwestern PA, I think there's like one county that still has, Westmoreland, I think that's, everybody else at the county level divested themselves of those, and they're either nonprofit organizations like Lutherans, St. Barnabas, those kinds of folks that are nonprofit entities, or they're for-profit nursing home operators, which is Brighton Rehab is part of that stuff. So I just think, I hear it, I feel for it because I hear it. I have friends that have, parents in those places, they were very concerned about the idea of them being, displaced a long way to travel and visit and that kind of stuff.
It's truly a tragedy. But our community's only getting older.
You don't have to tell me that, never.
I mean, our demographics,
No, I don't, for sure.
yeah, we're gonna have a whole lot more people in the wagon than pull it.
Any other audience participants?
So, I guess along the lines of pulling the wagon, what's going on? Do we not have any more update on the styrofoam plant? They're closed basically 6 months, they're done.
Cybercrack, they're in the business of, in the process of shutting down. And then I'm assuming the property will become available for redevelopment.
Now, who owns that?
It's a Mexican-based firm.
They own the
sorry.
property?
Yeah, the assets and the property.
They don't just own the business, they own the land.
Yeah, it's about 275 developable acres, I believe, for the entire site, the former Kubota, Coppers, Arco, and Nova site that was there.
So we don't, but there's no serious interest yet.
Not site, no. It's pretty hard to do without them being fully shut down and figure out what assets they're gonna sell off or scrap. And what remediation may have to take place on the site. So, Bruce Mansfield and some other sites are much further along in being looked at for potential tenants.
Any other audience participation or questions? Hearing none, we will move into executive session. Thank you.
Fancy.